People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People at 7 on Twitter and YouTube, people at elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. And my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. And this is a response video based on the response to someone else's video. I'll explain that in a second. Okay. In video 1808, I covered the fact that we had a banister and a faucet fell on the same day. This is indirectly related to that. Okay, the question that the person asked on Alec Goshen's video about they had the well broke and it's on a pump. I don't understand how wells and pumps work. All I know is it's kind of like the faucet we have here. When our faucets don't work, we got a big problem. When the well doesn't work, they got a big problem. So the person said, why not have water? Water is a staple of being prepared. Well, I'm going to address that by saying this. No one's prepared for when things go wrong until it actually goes wrong. Okay, they might have been prepared for lack of food. Hey, we got this going on, we got that going on, we got a farm being built, we're going to have chickens, we're going to have this, we're going to have that in the meantime. And they got the well, that takes care of the water. They got a wood burning stove, so they're not having to worry about high electric bills, so forth and so on. Then they go to turn on the well and nothing happens. I, for one, that's already up here. I know what happens when the water situation goes kaput. You don't think about water until there is no water. You don't think about food until there is no food. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to turn this camera around. Okay, that's a faucet. You see what I'm saying? That works. That works. This side works. Come over here. This side, the hot water is not real proficient, but the cold comes out with no problem. And that's how we get water in this house, because when we go to the kitchen, this is what I'm dealing with. Okay, that's on. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. We got little waters hidden here. You see what I'm saying? That faucet had to be turned off. The faucet failed. We don't know if it's because this is moving or there's a nail missing or whatever. But as you can see here, when we turn the water on, it shoots straight up into your face. Straight up into your face instead of into the faucet to, you know, clean the dishes, help with the food, so forth. So it's not pleasant. I can't even make soap here because the water failed. I had to go to the bathroom to get water to wash and rinse the dishes. I have to take the dish drain to the bathroom to wash and rinse the dishes, so forth and so on. Now, because I do not use faucet water to make my soaps in the house, we have this distilled water. Because this was bought by accident, we also have spring water. When it's time to make food or whatever, I have those two things of water. The distilled water I use for my soaping, the spring water we could use for food, because you tell somebody, hey, pick me up a jug of distilled water, and they bring spring water, you're not going to say, well, I meant, I could always use spring water for whatever. We just don't use it for soap. The distilled water, they both cost the same thing, 99 cents. So we don't run out of water here. However, we do have an issue with the faucet. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show this because not everybody's going to, look at the reference point of video 1808 and figure it out. When the faucet failed, the banister failed on the same day. Look at this. I have it put together, or put back together rather, with wire and yarn. It already had a, piece of fabric that was going through here, piece of fabric that was going through here. That's on both of them. You see that? When it broke, let's put it this way. I'm not a small fry, okay? This girl weighs 200 pounds. So when I'm using the handlebar to come down here, this went completely like this, and I was attached to it. So I ended up down there. In the meantime, I don't want my mom to end up down there. I don't want my aunt to end up down there. I have a blood disorder, and I have a brace. When I fall, it could be dangerous to me. I landed on that, I didn't land on the concrete, thank God. I landed on the lawn, and someone said, yeah, you might bounce. I didn't bounce, I bruised. Then I called my doctor. He did the once over, so forth. So I had me come in the next day, make sure I was okay. Because if I have an issue, I either bleed, I bruise, or I clot. The clotting has caused me to have 2 strokes. Bleeding is almost worse because if you have a bleed, there's not necessarily an indication of where the bleed is until it's nearly too late. A bruise, I get a bruise, I take a ink pen or a marker and I circle where the bruise is, and then I monitor it. If the bruise get bigger than the outline, I'm going to the doctor, because that means the bruise is bleeding and they can isolate it. So that's one thing. That's my reality. I'm used to that. But my mom, yeah, she has dementia. So when it's like, okay, we're going to go down the steps, she might try to walk straight, and there's steps down there, and we encourage her to grab the handlebar, and if the handlebar is not working, we got an issue. My aunt, same deal. She'll grab the handlebar, or she'll say, I've been going down steps all my life. I don't need a handlebar. But I make her use a handlebar anyway because I can't pick her up. My mom weighs 107 pounds. My aunt weighs a little bit more than that. I'm the biggest one in the house, and I can't pick either one of them up. So if they go boom, I'm calling 911. Here's the point. When the banister failed and the faucet failed on the same day, my whole thought pattern was fix the banister. We have another source of water in this house. We have the sink in the bathroom. We have the tub in the bathroom. If the water in the kitchen never gets fixed and we have to go back and forth, carrying stuff to, supply water for the cooking and for the cleaning, so forth, so on, that's one thing. But that's the only banister we have out there. I can't go up and down steps without a banister. My mom, we don't even want her to try to go up and down steps without a banister. My aunt, she gets obstinate, but we're not going to let her go up and down the steps without a banister. The banister in my brain is more important than the faucet in the kitchen that's not working, because we have the faucet in the bathroom and the tub in the bathroom that does work. So when it comes time for being prepared, people are only as prepared as the last thing they know broke. Okay, my brain works on food. When we run out of coffee, that's a saying here. Oh, we're out of coffee. Time to go grocery shopping. Okay? I'm not even playing with that. We could run out of cereal. We could run out of lunch food, dinner food, so forth, so on. And we're looking at, we're out of meat. Well, we'll have cereal for today and we'll go grocery shopping tomorrow. Or, hey, we're running short on blah, blah, blah. Oh, we're out of bread. I have a bread maker. As long as we got flour, I can make some bread. Because in the refrigerator, we also have 4 things of yeast. But we run out of coffee, we better go get some coffee. That means while I'm in the store getting the coffee, I'm also getting some more flour. I'm also getting some more of this. I'm also getting some more of that. If you say, oh, wait a minute, the refrigerator is not going to work or the stove is not going to work, then we're getting powdered stuff. We're getting powdered milk, we're getting beans, we're getting cereal, we're getting grains, so forth, so on. And that you need water. Okay, so where's the source of water? Well, I had distilled water, I had spring water, if the faucet don't work. If you need to cook these items, well, I got a microwave in there, so if the stove ain't working, we got the microwave, okay? If the power's out and the stove's not working, I know how to make a makeshift stove, out of a couple of, like a tuna can or a what do you call that? Not pop can, like a Arizona can. I know how to turn that into a stove on top of the sink. Some people do it on top of the stove and then put it out, so forth, so on. We do that on top of the sink. So that way, if there's an issue, we could smother out the flames or whatever. If there's no water to smother out the flames, it can't burn anywhere except for that sink. The sink is made of stainless steel, so it will eventually go out. So basically, I just covered 3 things that will go out and what to do about it. But if you're not thinking about, oh, the stove might go out, oh, the microwave might not work because we're off of the electricity, or the refrigerator might not work, the refrigerator, the stove, the microwave, if none of those work, we got beans, we got pasta, we got dried milk, we got, you know, alternate provision, shall we say. And when the faucet failed and the banister failed, I'm on the ground in pain thinking, okay, what are we going to do about that faucet? Because I knew we had to have an alternate source of water. I already called my daughter and said, listen, I'm on the ground. I need somebody to come see about mom and stuff and hang out while I go check it out with the doctor. But we still need that banister fixed. In my brain, the banister is more important than the source of water because we have 2 sources of water. Actually, we have 3 sources of water. If anyone's willing to go down to the basement has a washer, a dryer, a really big sink, and, a source of water. And it has a toilet there if you want to flush. We don't do the steps. Hold on. I'll just show you. This is my leg. This is a titanium brace that goes all the way down to here. Okay? That's how I stand up and sit down. And when my knee tries to give out, the brace is the only thing that keeps me from going plump. I go boom a lot, but the brace stops at a certain angle so that way I don't just automatically fall. When I go to stand up, it's got a certain amount of support. It doesn't continuously 100% work, to replace the muscle. So I did physical therapy for nearly 6 months to get that side of my body strong enough to handle it. And I have a rollator. But in the meantime, if something goes wrong with the leg, I want that banister fixed ASAP. And I want another banister on the other side so that way, if this side's not working, we got a backup. So I understand having a backup, alternate source of whatever, but no one understands that until there's a problem that arises. So, yeah, water or bottled water might be a source of being prepared, but if you haven't had an issue, you're not going to necessarily think about the fact that that might be an issue later. So for right now, they're ahead of the game. They're using water made from snow and ice and all that. They're learning how to filter it out, so forth, so on. So they know what to do for that emergency. But by the time that, this well might have a real issue, they will already have some bottled water. They already called in the maintenance person to fix whatever the problem is with the well. And they already have in their brain cells, this is not foolproof. What can we do now? So being prepared is a good thing. But a lot of times being prepared is based on or contingent on your experience or knowledge of what you have in your house that might need to have a be preparedness flag over it. So I said all that to say this. Look in your refrigerator or your kitchen or whatever and see how you're going to be prepared. That's like right now on my table we have oatmeal. Here's a recipe that my mom wrote or something. It's got her name on it. For hamburger pie. That's from one of my books, and apparently she saved it. So I'm glad she did that, because that's one of the things that we forget how to make, and Mom don't remember how to make. And here's a recipe for it. So now I know what she was trying to make over there. She woke up thinking she went to church and decided she's cooking dinner for the family, and nobody knows what it was. But in the meantime, when it comes to being prepared, we start with the food. There's oatmeal, there's coffee, okay, let's add some beans. Okay, we can add some pasta. Okay, that goes with water. Okay, now what we're going to cook it with the water. This girl here knows how to make a rocket stove. I know how to make a penny stove. I know how to cook with, what do you call it, flower pot or terracotta pot, and those little tea leaf candles, because I've had to do that in my life. So, yeah, preparedness comes from being prepared with your experience. So, go through your brain to see what you have experience on, and then expand from there. Not everybody's going to think about, oh, the water's going to be an issue until the water is an issue. I mean, we have a faucet. The faucet decided to go kaput. We immediately went to the faucet in the bathroom, and we didn't even think anything about the fact that we were going back and forth, because my brain was still focused on fixing the banister. Now, what if the faucet in the bathroom and the sink went out in the kitchen? That'd be the first thing in my brain. How can we fix the situation? Who can we call? Who has experience doing this, that, and the other? Because you don't think about it until it happens. So this has been People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. Erase that. Start over. This has been People 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps are located at people.etsy.com, and my t-shirt designs purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. Bye now.